Whitney Webb is one of the greatest journalists of our time, and her latest work exposing the deep state pulls back the curtain on BlackRock and what they really aim to achieve with Bitcoin. Is Larry Fink a Bitcoin bull?
Yes.
Or is Larry Fink exactly who he showed us when he said this?
If you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race, any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And ultimately, we're going to have to force change.
I can't remember who said it, but when they, whoever they may be, show you who they really are, believe it.
When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, absolutely. A person says to you, I'm selfish or I'm mean. Believe them. They know themselves much better than you do. But no, more often than not, those of us who don't trust life say, don't say a thing like that. You're not really crazy. You're not really unkind. You're not really mean. And as soon as you say that, the person,
Bop. It was Oprah in her pajamas 27 years ago in 1997 at a slumber party with Maya Angelou. How could I forget? Bop. Welcome back to the Simply Bitcoin Bunker. Chief Propagandist Rustin reporting in to deliver our most terrifying episode of all time. And here we go.
So one of these that I've been writing about for a few years is the whole idea of natural assets, what they call nature's economy. And one of the groups that has been sort of propelling this forward, at least one of the earlier groups, the Intrinsic Exchange Group, which is a product of the Rockefeller Foundation and the multilateral development banking system, has a graphic on their website called The Opportunity, and they show there the existing amount of assets in the world economy, and then show what it, if we unlock natural assets, how nature's economy, it's like 6 times the amount of existing assets in the economy today. And so as an asset manager, BlackRock being able to unlock and take control of as many natural assets as possible that aren't currently part of the financial system is obviously a way for them to perpetuate what they do and deepen and expand their control over not just people in the existing financial system, but really over the natural world as well, and essentially turn everything alive into a tradable Wall Street financial product.
Turn everything alive into a Wall Street tradable product. They'll own everything, including you. Larry Fink's BlackRock really does have deep ties to the Rockefeller Foundation, doing special client events since 2021. And as Whitney Webb says, their push for natural assets is absolutely real.
We're making these natural capital assets on the balance sheet. So companies have the option to include nature on the balance sheet to add corporate value, because today nature and ecosystem services is seen as a cost in the P&L of companies. So why the heck we're still, considering nature a cost, a penalty, instead of being, seen as a wealth, instead of seeing, as added value.
Absolutely insane. Right there's a lot of questions to ask. Why the change of tune? Since 2021, Larry has promoted tokenizing the earth and natural assets. But now he's got love for the thing you can't hold in your hand, the magic internet money, Bitcoin. And it's not just Larry who's pivoted towards Bitcoin, but a growing choir of the establishment have changed their tune. I mean, come on, Orange Man said, Jamie Dimon, the orange coin, I've never seen a coin like it. I keep my silent device under my pillow every night. I sleep like a baby, Jamie. Better get on board or I'll make Saifedean head of treasury. This guy gets it. Boom, there it is. But wait a minute. Also, why the flip from Trump? In 2019, Orange Man said, quote, I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. If you don't listen to my advice, you'll be down bad bigly. So clearly we have a major flip 5 years later. How did this happen? Is it because, like Larry Fink claims, Trump did the homework? Oh shit, what's happening? Chief Propagandist Rustin coming to you live from the Simply Bitcoin Bunker news desk. We have breaking news! Coming from New York Post Charles Gasparino, he reports, quote, BlackRock had handled Trump's investment portfolio for years. Trump invested in the BlackRock Obsidian Fund, described by the firm as a global fixed income multi-strategy hedge fund. When Trump invited a bunch of CEOs, including Jamie Dimon, to the White House in 2017, he immediately mentioned Fink's presence. I see we have Larry Fink here. Where is Larry Fink? Larry did a great job for me. He managed a lot of money. I have to tell you, he got me great returns. Why did Trump stop investing in the BlackRock Obsidian Fund? Well, in October 2023, the Obsidian Fund's chief investment officer, Stu Spodak, decided to shutter its doors. To, quote, reinvest in other BlackRock strategies. And which strategy did BlackRock unleash just a couple of months later? But their Bitcoin IBIT ETF. Is that why Orange Man pulled out of the globalist fixed income multi-strategy Obsidian Fund? To double down on the BlackRock Orange Coin ETF? I'm just sharing the facts and raising some serious questions. Smart people, figure it out. Shit is getting out of control or going exactly as planned. Either way, it ain't good. You in control of your Bitcoin keys? This is why we self-custody, not your keys, not Larry's coins.
Problem here is hard cash is fading rapidly. That's just the way of the world right now. And Bitcoin is spreading, and if Bitcoin takes over, we are all in a world of hell.
With eCoin, we control the ledger and the mining servers. We are the authority. I will make sure you have visibility into every single wallet that's open, every loan, every transaction, which means we can start making new assets, which means we can start rebuilding the banking sector without your having to inject even more politically unpalatable federal funds into it. This is going to be controlled by a good old-fashioned American company. You want to regulate it? Be my guest. Regulate the shit out of it. I'll give you back doors, side doors, trace it, whatever you want. Just don't shut it down.
It's very interesting, too, the change of tune surrounding Michael Saylor. I mean, just look at MicroStrategy's success. Is it just game theory playing out, or is there more to it? You're going to be terrified of this. But first, look at our likes!
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Help us spread the sound money gospel, make number go up, like, subscribe, and pay tribute to our sponsors, the Bitcoin Way. You're looking to learn how to Bitcoin, how to properly secure your Bitcoin? You might want to head on over to the newly revamped Bitcoin Way website, where you can begin your road to Bitcoin sovereignty today. If you're looking to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, go ahead and use that link below in the show notes.
There needs to be a cultural shift in Bitcoin in the opposite direction of what this Diego guy from Rootstock said, where he's like, we need to drop the whole stop fiscal irresponsibility of the banks and central banks and be a challenge and threat to their power. We have to drop that if we want to get rich. I mean, that's the mentality there. And I feel like the Saylor mentality really isn't that different from that. We have to push people in the other direction, because if we go in the direction they're pushing those, people to go in, people that want to drop the ethos or whatever and make Bitcoin just a tool for Wall Street. No, if we let that happen, very bad things happen. And there has to be a fight. And there's a specific effort that's been launched against people that hold Bitcoin to try and get them to be compliant in that sense.
Whitney Webb said that the Michael Saylor mentality is, quote, we need to drop the whole stop fiscal irresponsibility of the banks and central banks and stop being a challenge or threat to their power. That's impossible for Bitcoin, by the way. We need to stop all that if we want to get rich. And let's be real, she's not wrong. We're not in Bitcoin for just number go up, but for freedom go up. If we're just rich because we complied, then are we rich at all? Let me know in the comments below if you're here for number go up or freedom go up. Remember I told you about those strange webs being weaved? You want to see some wild shit? Doug Mills, the photographer who was with President Bush to capture the exact moment Bush had 9/11 whispered into his ear, was the same guy to capture the exact moment a bullet soared past Orange Man's ear. In the Trump assassination attempt, who was it who owned the buildings that the shooter used with its very slopey roofs? None other than Vanguard and BlackRock. And who owns the most shares of cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike? Vanguard and BlackRock. Let's go ahead and read this breakdown from Shadow of Ezra. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says a defect in its software update caused worldwide outages of Windows operating systems over the weekend. These outages resulted in flight cancellations and disruptions to multiple industries, leading to possibly, well, I think it is confirmed, the largest IT outage in history. Now, CrowdStrike is based in Austin, Texas, where Austin private wealth investment firms shorted Trump's Truth Social stock. The Democrats hired CrowdStrike to investigate how Russia hacked the DNC in 2016. And since it was the DNC that was hacked, the Mueller report claimed that Trump must have colluded with Russia. So Trump has had CrowdStrike in his crosshairs. He even mentioned them in his phone call to Zelensky, once saying, quote, "I would like to find out what happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They said CrowdStrike? I guess you have one of your wealthy people, the server. They say Ukraine has it." And since BlackRock and Vanguard are the two biggest shareholders of CrowdStrike, is that why they built such slopey roofed buildings for one of their advertisement actors, Thomas Crooks?
I hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school.
I'm just sharing facts and asking serious questions. I mean, the truth is stranger than fiction. What's really hiding behind Trump's ear bandage?
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more.
Not trying to throw out any accusations, just saying what a fortuitous set of coincidences. But again, look at the facts. Dylan Allman lays it all out. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is Secretary of Treasury. Jamie Dimon heads Federal Reserve. Peter Thiel handpicking J.D. Vance to be his running mate. Trump isn't draining the swamp. He's filling it with the swamp creatures. The Orange Man isn't a disruptor. It looks like he's a tool of the very system we claim to resist. And while I share the excitement that with Biden out, America can have the strategic Bitcoin reserve we've dreamed of, ironically, I think we need to listen to Peter Thiel when he warns us of the giant magic show.
But on another level, you have to think of it as a giant magic show in which your attention is being redirected from things that really matter. It's sort of a magic show, attention redirection operation. And what I want to speculate on a little bit tonight, instead of going into all the nuances of the pro and anti-diversity arguments on their own terms, is what is it that our attention is actually being directed away from? What are the things that are much more important that we should be talking about?
Like 1997 Pajama Oprah says, when someone tells you they're trying to redirect your attention from things that really matter, believe them. Okay, there we go, more breaking news. Trump, I'm not considering Jamie Dimon or Larry Fink for Treasury. This is hilarious. I don't know who said it or where it came from, perhaps the radical left, but I never discussed or thought of Jamie Dimon or Larry Fink for Secretary of the Treasury. Thanks for the update. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what this really means is that Saifedean is still in play. And it's not all doom and gloom, and that's because instead of the doomer black pill, we have the bright Bitcoin future orange pill. Like Preston Pish says, embrace the chaos.
I guess my recommendation for people is embrace the chaos. Enjoy the chaos. When you have a bad day, it's just providing that backdrop and that contrast for you to appreciate tomorrow when it's better. I feel so blessed to be a part of this movement, to be around people like both of you two. It's in the eye of the beholder as to where you're going to focus your energy, what you're going to work on, and how you're going to provide value for other people that's going to bring you true pleasure in your life. The finish line is how can you add more value and abundance and happiness to other people's lives? Because in that process, what you're going to find is you're making yourself extremely happy and fulfilled yourself. What an opportunity to be sitting here at these crossroads in this great reset to figure out a way to re-engineer and rewire the world for efficiency and abundance for others. Like, what an opportunity.
Now, Bitcoin is our armor against the tyranny of the state and their proxies. But as we've talked about before, new levels bring new devils. It's the cost of success, and Bitcoin is now going head-to-head with the most powerful nations, companies, central banks, and corrupt institutions all around the globe. They can't stop Bitcoin, but they can seek to capture and co-opt, recreating a new Bretton Woods system with a built-in social credit system. Let's break it down like this. Should you trust a criminal banker, Uncle Larry, Tether, or politicians? Especially those that the legendary Whitney Webb just broke down for us today? Or should you start harvesting your man seed? I got about a fridge full. I'm sitting on an untainted sploosh gold mine. No, wait, sorry, a freezer full of sploosh. You see, you have to freeze them. You just can't let them strong swimmers sit restless in the fridge. You have no idea the pleasure I had to go through to reharvest my seed in the bunker. Time will tell who Trump picks for his cabinet. And this video. This one might have some clues. Space monkeys!
Ready to sacrifice himself for greater good.
Click now to watch how they tried to assassinate Trump because of Bitcoin. And give us a pam! I'll catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.
Bye.